Legendary teams, major players, and electrifying tactical action are back in CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. From June 27th till July 4th, 10 teams will clash in the thrilling showdown for the prize pool of $100,000 and slots at the PGL Major Stockholm 2021. Who will win more rounds? Who will show the most furious play? And who will claim the major prize? Find out at the CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. And don't forget to reload.
Well, we get back into it, Jason. Another great day of Counter-Strike. We start things off right now on the A stream. The B team's probably starting off right now too, actually, now that I think about it, Jason.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works, but yeah. Good to be back again for some more Counter-Strike, and we get to see Team Spirit going up against 100PingGods to start things off today.
Yeah, and that's actually sneakily a really cool match. Maybe not necessarily because of the matchup itself, but because the implications of if 100PingGods is able to actually win this. Remember, they started the RMR out by beating Virtus.pro, upsetting them on day number 1. If they're able to beat Spirit here, that Group B becomes wide open, because coming into this, we would have picked Spirit and Virtus.pro to be at the top of that group. And if 100PingGods upsets both of them, all of a sudden they're in the driver's seat of Group B. So that could be really, really intriguing what the implications for this matchup have.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. And I think that Team Spirit, like we said, they come in as the head start. I mean, that's what a beautiful thing to have for them in this event. I think that's extremely important given the circumstances and what's on the line and the fact that we're trying to qualify for a major. But they didn't have the greatest start. I mean, we've seen that from them, and we've seen a lot of teams in this event look very competitive among each other. Now, again, we talk about that with CIS a lot, in that we don't see this sort of this crop of teams as much in our media, in the Western media, so to speak, on the English streams, but they know each other very, very well, and they play each other a lot. So they have a good understanding of how to work against each other, and I think a lot of the play styles are quite similar. We talk about the CIS having its own meta and in some ways being slow, and I think that's why we're seeing this competitiveness that otherwise I think a lot of these teams might not achieve against some of the European teams.
And just the crazy amount of skill that we've seen, in players, across the board in all of these teams. You can see here the standings that we have going into it. 100PingGods currently in second place. They did beat Virtus.pro. They lost on day 2. So, I mean, they've got, it's going to get a little bit sketchy, I think, in Group B as we get down there. But Virtus.pro certainly need to pick things up. On the other side, Group A, kind of as you would expect, Gambit and Na'Vi in the top 2 positions. I think maybe a little bit of a surprise one would be Akuma down at 0-6. Not winning any matches after having that really impressive run at the previous RMR event. Obviously getting pretty much blanked and battered so far here in this follow-up one at StarLadder. So tough stuff. And still, Forz and Amiga, despite being impressive, neither of them been able to crack Gambit and Na'Vi, which I guess in a way is to be expected.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of, I mean, Na'Vi, look, there's been a lot of controversy around the Akuma team just simply because of accusations thrown at them. And obviously the fact that they beat Na'Vi just about a month ago or whatever, how many days it was now, it's hard to keep track in this world. But the fact of the matter is now we're seeing what Na'Vi kind of predicted coming into this, and that, they were one of the weaker teams and they thought that they should be weaker teams. So that was shown yesterday. Look, Na'Vi and Gambit both played excellently yesterday. I do feel a bit for Namiga because I think they've really been inspirational in a lot of ways in that they played so well against top teams, but yet they don't really have a lot to show for it. We're going to start with Group B, though. 100PingGods, as we say, going up against Team Spirit. Then we jump back over to Group A and we cover the Nada Spitsira Forz game. So Na'Vi will be on the main screen a little bit later on, but I'm excited to see Team Spirit because this is a team that I think's kind of always been capable. Let's just say that again, capable. The hard part's getting that breakout, right? It's getting noticed, and we've seen CIS do it at times. I remember there was a time when Duncan used to just harp on about how does CIS have so many spots at the major. Well, the truth is they earned them. I mean, you back to Quantum Bellator Fire, Vegas Squadron. There's always these teams that come in and surprise. And I think that this being a reset right now in Counter-Strike and the fact that it's wide open is a great chance for a team like Team Spirit.
Yeah, I think the big thing about that is, I mean, Spirit, of the 4 kind of CS teams that have proven they can be kind of competitive within the regular tier 1 of the West, Spirit's the one who seems more like they're the danger. They're the players who, this is the team that's like dangerous to upset you, not really necessarily go deep into the tournament. So they still have, I think, one final hurdle to overcome. 100PingGods as well. They've shown they're kind of proving the same thing right now, at least within this region. They are dangerous of an upset. They took out VP earlier in this tournament. Now they have to show us if they can actually build upon that, if they can stay dangerous in this group, or if they're going to be swept aside by everyone. And at the end of the day, that upset won't mean anything. But some very cool stuff. Iceman had a great series in that upset over Virtus Pro. We saw Sorrow as well. I thought he looked pretty good the other day. Hope those guys show up today against Spirit as well. And this team has, I mean, we're going to talk about talent. Mir has been around for a while in the CS region. He's been great. Chopper as well has had some impact. But, you know, Dexter and Magix, those guys are very strong players.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that Mir immediately jumps off the page. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, you know, even SDY has been around for a bit of time. Chopper, you're right. I think Chopper and Mir were on the Vegas Squadron team for a while, am I not mistaken? I think one of them was. Maybe Chopper was. I'm not sure. But again, it blends together. There's so many CIS teams that have been so remarkable. We're going to get into the veto right now. Mirage and Vertigo out, so Angshy gets floated. And we know that this kind of has to happen because a lot of teams have Vertigo as a permaban, which means there's a chance. Okay, now both teams seem like they want to float it, so maybe we don't see it at all. Inferno and Nuke. This is an RMR. You're not going to see as many sort of. Oh, okay. Yep. Ban. There it is. Second ban from Team Spirit. They're not down to try out some new things apparently. We're seeing it as a perma ban for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vertigo. We're seeing what I was going to say. Sorry, is a lot of teams being quite serious with these vetoes, as opposed to what I was with last week with the charity match, because this is serious. I mean, this is RMR, and I know that. We used to look at sort of the minors, if you will, because that's kind of what these are in a way, as, you know, second tier events, because they were filled with teams of second tier trying to make it to a major. But in that context, they're as important as any event all year.
Oh, certainly would be. Inferno and Nuke going to be the 2 maps that we start out with. I like that. I think that's a nice standard maps between these 2 teams this year. We're doing. It's interesting to see Spirit pick Nuke, because I didn't think they actually looked that strong on it. Was it against Entropic that they played, that we casted just a few days back, where they looked pretty shaky on it. That was actually me and Vince, I think, and that was the 5 overtime game. So them picking Nuke scares me a little bit. But other than that, it seems like a pretty standard veto process.
Yeah, it does seem pretty standard indeed, as we take a look at some of the results for it. Obviously, Team Spirit, that's not ideal when you see that much red. K23, they did lose in overtime. Virtus Pro, they've played quite a few times on it. It seems like they have their numbers, so that's a bit unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just
Virtus Pro seems to be beating both teams.
Just take all the ways in which Virtus Pro kicks your ass on the map and take those and incorporate them into your own game, and you should be just fine. It's an easy solution.
Just counter strat Virtus Pro, and you'll beat everyone. I like it.
The crazy thing is, it's just the sheer number of times this has been played. 26 times in the last 3 months for 100PingGods, only 7 for Team Spirit. I mean, that's not super worrying. Obviously, Inferno's a really, really popular map. You know, Team Spirit's obviously going to know it quite well. Just very, very interesting that this, like, 100PingGods is playing this so much.
Yeah, that is a lot. And this is a team, again, that we touched on, Jason, as someone who, 100PingGods, right? We were like, okay, that's a bit of a meme. That's a bit of a troll.
Yeah, I thought it was like a pug team just put together for this tournament, and they're actually, like, pretty legit. So fair play.
Yeah. Maybe they're looking for an org. I mean, they showed some skill. We've seen some impressive. I think Winter was one guy in the first day. Well, my first day, I should say day 2. I joined you guys, obviously, day late in this event. But on day 2, that looked really solid individually. You know, Duke was decent as well. You mentioned Iceman. HLTV, I'm just looking at their stats right now as well. They've actually highlighted Smiley, who has a 1.08. I mean, they've all got decent ratings on this team individually. It's just one of those things that they need more time, perhaps, and a little more I guess, experience. And I say experience because the hard part is if you're playing just in the CIS region, we talked about them having a single meta, but if they start to see other teams as well, then they'll start to adapt and expand that playbook.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the ratings might be good, but, I mean, still, when you get to this RMR and you're playing the teams like VP, like Spirit, like Gambit, like Na'Vi, you know, it's a jump up in the competition that probably got your ratings that high in the first place. So, again, interesting to see how they'll kind of adapt and how they'll build up into this one. Both teams in the server, both teams are ready, so we can be done waiting. Freeze time is counting down, and we're going to be live into the pistol round. Team Spirit taking on 100PingGods, or 100PG, as they will be referred to here on out, just for simplicity purposes. And remember, this matchup is interesting because 100PG can kind of take over their Group B if they're able to win this game. They would have upset both the favorites of this group, and that would put them in a nice little driver's seat moving forward for the rest of the week.
And I'm going to be super rude to you and say, take this one. I'm going to fully restart just because I'm having some ping issues with sound, and I don't want everyone to have a bad experience because of me. So I'll be right back.
Nice. That's perfect. I like that. All right. Here we go. Pretty calm across the map. Everyone's spread on both sides. No one getting caught out. Magix. Just glancing down and spotting at logs, and he calls for the grenade. Return grenade, double nades, and I don't know how he's gotten away from that one. 37 HP. I think 100PG got robbed of some damage and maybe even a kill on that double nade. Nicely done from them, but they do force the defense back. They do keep 3 players towards this B bomb site for Team Spirit's defense. With 3 players here, they might be motivated to get a little bit aggressive, to have some information, to get a jump on a rotation back to A. It's all down to this timing. Chopper is just getting onto his horse now to rotate over to A. And 100PG, they're setting up a Halls pop, but Winter's a little bit delayed with that bomb, and if this takes too long, they're going to be here in time. Even Magix is finding it. Even Mir is now pushing for a quick flank. They hear the nades coming out. SDY, tough spot to clear him out of. Oh, he's got an easy headshot, and he can survive here for days. They've got the angle. They force him out into the open, but so many players of Spirit are here. And it's going to be a brawl the whole way down. And coming through the smoke, Magix is going to help end it. Mir with the double kill, Magix with 2 as well. And it's 1-0 for Spirit.
Well, I've got the game back, Jason. So hopefully everything is good on the production side already.
Yeah.
But 1-0 Spirit. That's all I heard. So this sounds good. This is a good start for them on the CT side. Yeah, just having a few sound issues, which I don't really want to deter everyone's viewing experience. So I thought I'd get that out of the way early, but we're back into it. And it's Mir that's going to be holding down toward quad right now with the M4A1S. I switched back to the S. I mean, it's not like I play the game very often. I'll be fully honest about that. But I switched back to the S recently when I did play. I always liked the feel of the gun. And it's nice to see it kind of coming back because remember for a long time, we didn't see it at all. I mean, there was like a 2018 period, I would say 2018, we didn't like there was like 3 players running it total, and now it seems like it's almost back to 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, it went through that weird nebulous period where I think no one really knew how to properly balance the weapon. So it was either too good or too bad to really utilize. Now it's, yeah, getting into a comfortable position. 4 players for 100PG moving up banana at the moment. Pop flash around the half wall. No presence at sandbags, and they'll be happy about that one. And if you're Team Spirit, that means you got to be a little bit cautious. They could be right at the entrance to the B bomb site. Magix is going to get boosted up while Winter probes toward middle. He's the only lurker here.
See if you can do anything with it. Start to look inside of the site. SDY is going to have to get back down, head still on his shoulders, but keeps it low as he doesn't want to get spotted inside of the pit. Meanwhile, Mir's going to take down Dishfura. I'm sorry, I'm just missing names up. It's fine. So I didn't have my so we're getting there as Iceman takes down Chopper and jumping through. They won't get any further than that one. MP9 picked up 3 kills as well, so they have done a good amount of economic damage. They've also gotten, as you saw with that MP9, a kill on it, so that builds them up a little bit of cash, but no bomb plant, and I would rather the bomb plant in that situation, Jason, to be charitable to everyone on my team.
My first day casting with Vince, Matt, I couldn't say Magix because I was so used to.
Were you saying Magisk?
My brain was like going back to casting with Anders, where he says like Magisk because he's Danish, and he actually gives it the old Danish twirl, and my brain couldn't handle. I don't know why. I felt like an idiot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt completely stupid.
You just felt like one, Jason.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. I'm not actually an idiot, I swear.
I love it. I love it. Well, we've got kills coming in. You can hear bodies dropping very quickly. They're still going down, so they have got one kill again this time, but a nice clean round, mostly for Team Spirit. It's going to allow them to just get that little bit of buffer of cash back in their favor, and now they'll be able to use that against what is going to be the first gun round as we get into round 4. The T is being rather aggressive on purchasing and not getting the bomb plants means we didn't get that, what is becoming more common and has been more common for a while now, that round 3 gun buy. So this is it. This is all to play for. And no AWP on the T side. Now, I know it's Inferno, and some people elect not to run one very often. I think more and more, especially as we get that next generation of Opper coming through, Jason, we're seeing that fast, aggressive style, and we're seeing T-sided opping really take off again.
Yeah, the dynamic opping has been coming back for some while, and now there's getting some really cool, talented oppers who are having their own unique spins, their own unique takes on how to op appropriately. 3-0. A lot of utility being traded back and forth at the B bomb site, and it looks like 100PG just have no intention whatsoever of going mid. Winter is super passive in alt mid. Iceman is actually at the base of the banana, just watching the flank. They're already lined up for some utility, so Chopper and Magix are going to get some pressure.
Pressure's on. Flash out, Chopper, blinded by that, just down the inside area. They're going to walk into it. That's easy for Magix. Magix, see, look, you've done it to me now. Magix is going to get one, but that's it. As he tries to time a nade to be thrown, that's when Iceman rounds the corner. And Sora down. He's going to flash it. He's not only able to help his teammate, but also make sure that Winter got a kill as well. And by Winter, I definitely mean Smiley. As Mir's going to work back up inside of Banana, M4 in hand. On the retake, Winter's the one tasked with watching. That's a tough position to be in. Obviously, he wants to be covered off so he can swing back inside of the site, but they're smoked down, and he's kind of just looking at Banana for information rather than playing the position to get the kill and have some cover. Good dink. My goodness. Aceman down to 10. This retake is definitely on now as the nade will do the rest. It's on Smiley. He's got one already, though, but SDY gets the kill. Doesn't even matter, and they both survive, just barely survive with their weapons, but 100PingGods will get the first of 100 rounds. Not how that works.
That felt weird. Yeah, that's not how that works, but yeah. Well, okay, let's start here. I think Magix is way too dedicated to utility at this point. Trying to check out a smoke and a grenade, that's real ambitious. Gun out, and I think he gets that second kill, and that could turn the round completely. But, man, that retake from Team Spirit was it felt lazy. It felt like they had no intention of actually getting onto the bomb and defusing. They were more worried about keeping guns in their hands. Because it felt like they, in a 3-on-1, taking their time with the bomb running down that low, that seems a bit crazy to me. But either way, 3-1, they have the money. 100PG win with losing all their players. So Team Spirit's still in an okay position. Just feels like they let one slip. That's a nice double
down
nade as well.
Bottom side of Banana. Say again. Sorry, Jace. Okay. Mir, I think he's gonna fix his sound issues now. Look, I'm keeping you updated, chat. I just want you guys to be involved in my life today. It's good to be back, and I've missed you all so dearly. A lot of HP lost already on Duke. Iceman as well, sitting on red. Mir's on 27, so he's not great off either, but obviously the advantage firmly with Team Spirit. And even though they lost the last round, they carried that AWP over, Jason. So this means if they win this, they're really, really going to take a good start to this DT-sided half.
Oh, good pop flash. Good come through the smoke.
Don't mind that at all. Dexter's got Soro. I think Soro's been a little bit slow to get started in this game in a lot of ways.
Yeah, him and Duke both sitting at 0-5. And if you're 100PG, this B hit's all you have left. You have no more utility. This is just pure desperation. This time, Magic's not even going to worry about the nades. He's got plenty of teammates here with him. They know where Winter is. He's blinded, and he's going to go down. 4 players survived for Team Spirit. So that hiccup in the previous round with the retake, you can kind of forget that ever happened because Team Spirit's strongly and firmly in the driver's seat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a hiccup. Yes, the bomb goes down, but they managed to kill everyone still, right? So they still kept the economy very even, and they got away with an AWP and an M4. So in many ways, it's like it's minimizing the damage, right? It's the slightest amount they could possibly lose that round by in some ways. So yeah, that's a huge reset now against 100PingGods, and see how they react to it.
Ooh.
At this point, by the way, I should point out their pings again are nowhere near 100.
Well, Duke Fisher's up there at 88, but yeah, everyone else is at 10.
Ah, he is. Wow, good for him. He's the 100 god. All right,
Yeah,
now Sorrow is the only god in this round. He gets 1 on a Deagle, his first kill in the game, and that means everyone is now on the scoreboard. 10 kills for Mir. And it's going to be just Sorrow left alive with a Deagle, Jason.
Yeah, and I don't know what he can really do. Maybe, hopefully, try and find a way to pick up a rifle, do a little bit more economic damage, but... Oh well. 4-1, gonna traverse through Banana. There's that rifle. He's found it with the minute remaining. And actually, this is pretty nice. No one is looking in this direction at all. They don't expect this massive, massive flank. And I think he's gonna get at least 1 freebie onto Dexter. Oh, the timing on him to turn, Dexter, to look in this direction is absolutely perfect. 5-1.
Yeah, that's sick. That's really, really good, because it could have been the op down otherwise. And now... we'll go back into gun round again. Smiley picks up the AWP immediately. First time we'll see the T-side of AWP. Magix is going to go onto the AUG as well. So we're going to have a little bit different setup on the CT side. I remember during, and they've got an AK I should mention still up here. I remember when the AUG meta was very prevalent. This was one of the maps that it was extremely strong on because you could hold the angles and take those duels more effectively against the AKs. At this position, at Banana, but it's actually going to be an AWP here. Instead, boost on corner to see over the half wall. And it doesn't really work out for them. There was 3 itty-bitty little heads to shoot at, and they didn't hit any of them, as Dexter actually takes a good amount of damage and has to fall away with 48 HP, so they'll turtle inside of the site instead. Meanwhile, single man lurk in the form of Winter is trying to figure out what's going on at the A site. Chopper's at Cubby. He would be the fastest one to rotate if they elect to do so. Magic is... God, you've done it. You've done me in now.
Haha. Welcome to hell.
Dexter's gonna swim wide. I thought he was gonna miss the chance in that smoke, but he committed to the peak. Kind of had to at that point. He's covered off. Everywhere else needs to help his teammate, and does exactly that. It's all down to Sorrow and Winter. And with 40 seconds, they're starting to regroup. It's Winter that's trying to still open up the A site. He does. Mir. Double peek. Doesn't work out for him. And now SDY. This is exactly what they say on Inferno. Do not leave the pit until you need to anchor this bomb site. But naturally, teams know this. They'll start to deploy utility. Smoke goes out toward Library. And SDY really has to win this duel, but they're taking their time. Taking their time is allowing the rotations because Chopper's getting back in position. SDY gets 1, and that's good enough for Chopper to get exactly where he needed to be.
Yeah, they knew he was probably there in pit. They knew he was probably at the broken wall. There's just nothing they could do. No smoke, no Molotov, no nades to flush him out or to block his vision. And this time, a different kind of hit towards the B bomb site, just going for a real quick pop flash and swing into the site. And unfortunately, it's a perfect defense. It's an AWP in the emo corner, and the flashbang doesn't hit him. So a couple easy shots from Dexter.
Well, we'll see again what the response is going to be. We've got our first timeout called, naturally, from 100PingGods at this point in time, as we take a peek in on some of their players and see exactly what's going on in the respective homes. We're pretty early in the day still, as you can see some sunlight, some daylight coming through the windows, and yet even still, we've got one man sitting in the darkness. A true gamer, they could say, Jason, as that's exactly what we're used to seeing. I've got too many lights on in this room right now. It's actually confusing me. I'm wondering when my teeth are going to sharpen and I will burn to the sun. But we get underway again. Team Spirits. You like that?
Yeah, big fan of vampire humor. You ever see Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer? That movie's legit.
No, but I'm going to put it on my list of things to watch.
Absolutely.
I watched A Knight's Tale last night. It's 20 years old and it's still hilarious, by the way. That movie's just hilariously great. Doesn't take itself too seriously.
Shout out to Heath Ledger. Taken too soon.
Yeah. Ah, way too soon.
Well, a lot of pressure here on SDY and Dexter, and SDY is just going to stay tucked into the corner. They've got to clear him. They've got to trade him, but they're not checking it. Oh, there's the jump in from Smiley. He goes wide. That allows Winter to trade, and good aggression from Sorrow. Finds a kill around the edge of the smoke. 6-1 in Magic's. It's all on him to clutch in a 1 versus 2.
Yeah, he's going to try to at this point. Both players inside of the site. It's smoke dissipated completely means they'll have line of sight together, which means trade is highly probable. Finds one, and he's going to look the other direction, expecting he's gone toward the apartment. He's gone toward the pit. So because it's only 1 man left on the CTs, that play works. Otherwise, if you've got 2 and you get stuck inside of the site, the angles become unattainable. But in this case, it works out. 100PingGods find their second round. A good call in the timeout to make it work. We often see teams really do thrive after a timeout. You should, in theory, but it doesn't always go that way. In sports, traditionally, that is. But in Counter-Strike, it seems to. They seem to be able to dissect something and slow it down. And Team Spirit's hard to adapt to that because they don't want to change what's working, right? So it's now that we'll see the adaptation, if any. And this will be the last buy for CTs as well, Jason. Their money is getting lower. The T-sided op finds the opener finally, and it's Dagster that goes down. This will pick up WP if you're trying to get aggressive, ST5. Not the time to pull out the nade, my friend. They were through the boy window. And he is burned to a crisp. Well, not really. He was shot in the face. But we'll take it, okay? We'll just go with it for the sake of poetic diction, as Duke Fashiro will take down Chopper, and Magic will have to try and hold on to the AWP. I know you've absolutely stitched me up on his name now. I don't think I would have had a problem until you said it, and now it's stuck in my head.
Oh, this is exactly what I went through on day 1. It's the worst. It is the absolute worst. Man, Team Spirit just could not find a single fight they wanted in that round. A little bit, like a few hiccups with the nades being pulled out and utility being pulled out, the peek into the op, as well as the Hall's pressure not working out in any way. That's brutal. And 100 PG are going to take a third, and like you said, take the economy away from the defense. So they're right back in the game immediately. 6-3, but 100 PG controlling the map for the moment.
Yeah, they are for the moment. And as you say, this will take the economy back down. We'll look and see that Mir leads the way on 10. With the T-sided op of Smiley, up to 7 kills now, is coming alive. Worthy of note as well that everyone has died 8 times out of the 9 rounds on 100PingGods.
Oh, yeah.
Worthy just to keep track of that for the sake of saving and for economy.
Ooh, the vertical stack is back at the B bomb site. Yo, what was it? It was like it was 5 or 6 rounds in. We looked down, and Duke and Sorrow both had 0 kills. Well, they now have 8 kills between them, so they've stepped it up.
Yeah, that's right. Sorrow was the last player to get a kill in the match. He was the last one to get his first, and now, yeah, he's flying. To be fair, some of those kills has also been late in the round where he's just picking the pieces up, but look, they're winning now. Obviously, there's a connection there. There's a correlation there. So it all is relevant. And he's going to be the lurk again this time, who's very importantly with Winter going to clear out the A site right now because as you and I know, it's a stack. And the more information that he gets and the less people that he sees, the more likely that bomb will leave Banana and head back over this way. And I think that call is going to be made right now. Last place to check his graveyard. He's even jumped up to do that. Yeah, so good play. I like this from 100PingGods, right? How many times do we see when they know they're against the eco, and I don't mean 100PingGods, I just mean
in general,
the hypothetical tees. Yes, they know they're against an eco. They don't check the sites and they just commit to something, and then get absolutely wrecked by a stack. I think it happens way too often.
Well, it's kind of a hard situation too, because if you go this kind of tactic where you're going to spread out and you're kind of going to probe and you're trying not to commit all your resources, but you're sending someone in to get some information so you know what you're walking into. That's when like a 1D can just pick someone off, and then you're playing with the man down, and then the round gets even stickier. So it's just like 2 different schools of thought, and you have to be able to switch between both of them so teams can't catch on and understand that you're going to either just pick a bomb site and hit it, or you're going to spread out and always probe like that. So it's just
the flash. Oh, I saw that last week. Right, and he only managed to get one. Sorry, not get right. What am I saying? He wasn't playing with Freiburg. He only managed to get one before getting taken down. So
good old Freiburg. Right.
Yeah, Get Right wasn't there. I love Freiberg, don't I? Just what a human being. What a legend. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying about that school of thought, because you're right. You don't want to lose a gun and give it away. It's one gun and you're smart about it, and you read that all of a sudden, yeah, it is a stack. Okay, even if you lose that one gun, just go to the other side. You can still beat them. I don't know. I think it's worth it to slow it down. You're right. Walking in slowly, like Soro's going to be holding his breath a little bit, hoping that he doesn't run into 5 players, but it's
not necessarily like a matter of right and wrong, you know. It's like you just have to be able to do both. Yep. It's tough. Those rounds when your opposing team could have Deagle and armor and a scout and all that utility, those are weird, tough rounds at times. This is Soro, this time, not using a whole lot of utility to take mid control, just taking the risk that no one would be there, and there's 3 players there. They're stacked up very strong to hold on to brackets. So 5-on-4 for Team Spirit, and with that kill, I mean, they might just kind of fall back away from this pressure. No reason to risk any more bodies. You've already got the advantage you want.
Magic's covering off the crossfire with Mir, who sits underneath of the quad position at this point. Slow and sure, the AWP trying to crack open middle with the crossfire as well as they work up to top mid. Smiley gets the first. Here thinks to go, but he's got SDY to back him. A good dink, but not enough on the M4. Puts Iceman down to 10 HP. Bomb will be planted in the hands of Smiley in the meantime, and he'll back off toward the pit. So a 2-on-2 retake. Smoke still down in front of Library, which means Dexter can't go through it. Flash went that high? No, second smoke, so they're going to double that up. Dexter, it'd be nice if he could go for a boost over it. They might have been able to spot Smiley quickly, but now they're going to split this, and he's going to crawl through the smoke, but he's got to be quick because Chopper trying to bait out the AWP shot. Not going to do it. Smiley not only finds one, he knows that likely is for baits, and that means they're going to be working through the other side. Now 100PingGods are within 1 round. This is a good turnaround from them.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Chopper had all the utility coming up lane. Not Chopper, excuse me. No, it was Chopper. I don't know why I just lost my mind. I'm not sure why they actually came back into this setup. It seemed like they were going to make the smart call and just play the bomb site and play the crossfires further back, a little bit more passive. But man, that's exactly 100PingGods managed that really, really well. And that first kill from Smiley with the AWP from Pit, that was on Chopper. And he's the one with the nade and the Molotov that would have been able to flush the opposition out of that position in Graveyard. Just never happened. And yeah, you're right. Great turnaround. This is now 4 in a row for 100 PG.
And now probe toward the banana position yet again. Chopper, the only one this time in the B site. Soro still all the way down at alt middle. We'll throw a nice cheeky little smoke that covers off the cubby position. See more and more of that smoke instead of the one that goes deeper. We used to see it kind of land right in the arch. You'd still leave cubby open. This time, teams are actually looking to just totally isolate that left side. Now, it does mean they are likely to go right, and going right means running into a bit of a boost and a stack, and a player underneath the quad, as well as a deagle up above. And now, as you were saying before, Jason, you give away that one gun to a deagle, and now the AK's in the round. That makes things a little bit less comfortable for 100PingGods, but Winter's still doing good work. We'll take out Magic. That's still over toward A, though, so B site hasn't had a kill yet. Bomb was still planted.
Yeah, fortunately, ooh, there's that AK-47 coming back into play. Mir with 2. He will get picked off finally. It's in the hands of SDY, and Smiley is very low. Both players for 100 PG are here. Smoke's going to go down towards CT spawn. That'll make the retake more difficult. But they've got some decisions. Winter's got one flashbang he can use. A Smiley can hide, but he can't. And now it's all on one player, but it's a 10-second defuse. There's the flashbang, not peeking with it just yet. He knows he's got a lot of players to find, and he's got all 3.
That was sick. I will give him credit. The flash and, like you say, 10-second diffuse, he's able to line them up. But that is exactly what you were saying earlier, Jason, about the different schools of thought. That is a round that slipped away because they lost a single AK at the start.
Yeah, it can just be so dicey. And that's even around, I mean, sometimes that kill happens and there's actually still 2 or 3 players over at the B bomb site ready to defend that hit more staunchly. But yeah, it can get dangerous and get dicey. So there's positive and negatives of both ways to approach that eco round. And this time, obviously, just is a little bit more difficult for 100 PG. Miraculous win from Winter, though.
Yeah, it looks pretty sick. Just to get those 3 line up at the ends, but... And you know, anyone who says, why do they line up in that situation? Well, hang on, everyone's blind. And it's a 10-second defuse. At that point, you have to protect the diffuser. So it's pretty clear you've got to try and do something to hold them off and defend them, and sometimes body blocking is viable. Just to make sure you can get in that same angle and get the shot in return. But now they'll set up for a... The same flash goes bouncing off the shimmy. Doesn't actually catch SDY. It went a little too deep, too far to the left. So it didn't quite work out. Molotov instead, though, will push him back in the crosshairs of Winter as Mir sits inside of the site. Good headshot, good adaptation. And Reed, as he didn't quite finish the kill onto Winter, but he switched his angle because he knew he was under threat. Molotov will go down toward the hay bales and as well in the small pit, so he's got to rotate away from it. That HP on both. No bomb plant yet. The AWP is still in the picture, and Smiley. Man, oh man, this has gone from 6-1 to 6-7, and Smiley is up to 15 on the AWPT side. What a half he's having.
Yeah, that's what a weird hit. Team Spirit get lured into trying to retake that bomb site, but no one from 100PG had even moved into the site. When they win, there's like 2 players in pit and 1 player with the AWP still in halls. They were just perfectly set up to be patient and wait for those kind of moves from Team Spirit, and they're just starting to get outplayed now. 100PG coming in with a really, really nice T side. It took a while for it to heat up, took a while for it to get going, but now that it's here, 6 straight round wins for 100PG on the T side of Inferno.
And this all came off the back of a timeout, so there you go, Jason. It's all about what the coach has to say.
Sometimes.
Oh, okay. Do you want to tell us some stories?
No. Not at all. One day.
Are you saying as a coach you didn't hold any water?
Dude, I got water all the time. I did everything.
It was just a liquid
thirsty
reference,
players.
That's all.
Oh.
But yeah, that's fine. Thirsty. I'm thirsty. Winter's thirsty. He'll take down SDY. Dexter's right. Dexter, not quite the Deegster, as he'll get taken down by Iceman.
Nice. Duke's gonna get a chance. Duke's gonna get some freebies. Nice spray control. Takes a lot of damage, but 8-6 now. They've secured a lead at halftime.
They have. And there you go, Smiley, 119 ADR. Big turnaround in this half. Money is the factor, and it's incredible to me that, you know, that they let this slip so far away, Team Spirit, because it was pretty convincing at the start. I mean, the rounds they were winning. Okay, yes, they got essentially 3-0, then they gun round, then they break them again. They got 2 gun rounds before they got to 6, but they were just very convincing. And there wasn't even very much trades coming back their way, so it's surprising to see them shut down so hard. But we saw this from 100PingGods, and we said this again today. They have the individual skill, and we're seeing it. Guys like Winter, guys like Smiley, I think today's really stepping up and showcasing himself, but the ingredients are there.
Yeah, another talented opper from the CIS region. I almost feel like I would love to see the stats of like these last this like 7-round run, potentially 8-round run of 100PingGods winning, of what the opening kills are like, because it feels like 100PingGods is opening every single round with a man advantage, except for maybe those rounds against the Deagles. But man, once the gun rounds are there, they're finding some really stellar opening kills. And now they have control of the map. They forced 2 players over to the B bomb site. Mir has rotated to help out Chopper. That leaves a relatively weak defense over at A, and they're setting up for a Hulse pop. So even Dexter's off. Not only will it not see a whole lot of action in mid, it's going to get blocked off once he rotates back. There's going to be a smoke over in Moto, and there's no way for him to get involved in the action.
SDY. A triple. He's gonna get taken down. Iceman just sneaks in. Tough position.
What's he supposed to do?
Yeah, that's I don't know what he wants to do from that spot. Dexter's got 1 back, nearly caught a second jumping toward the pit, but now at least knows there's 1 more player there. So a bit to work with in terms of information, but Smiley again has Chopper. Smiley's just unstoppable as they look to close this half out 9-6. It's a 4-on-2 and an established crossfire. Mir knows he's got a swing by Sorrow, but that means he'll be vulnerable from the backside as well as the broken wall. Duke gets both from that position. 9-6, what a comeback. That's 8 rounds in a row, Jason.
And most of them on kills as well. Yes, there's bomb plans in that, but the bomb didn't have to detonate being the point. They killed them every single time. No one was getting any money.
Yeah, they wiped him out, and especially on the CT side, when you're only having that max losing bonus, it's really tough to deal with. So what a half from 100PingGods. Now we kind of mentioned it leading into this as well when we saw the map statistics. The win percentage was higher for 100PingGods on Inferno, but also they just played it so many more times. Wasn't it like 26-7 or something mental like that? It was insane. So maybe we're seeing a little bit of that. I didn't think it would be a huge issue considering how much this map actually gets played, but 100PG obviously showing a level on it that Team Spirit couldn't match in the first half. We'll see if they've got something in store for their own T side though.
Couple of quick shots from Smiley down middle. Just gets a bit of information. No damage dealt. In fact, he takes a bit instead. Only 17, though, Jason. It's not the worst thing.
Not the worst thing.
Everyone has armor, with the exception of Sorrow, who has the kits and a flash. And Chopper on the T side, who has the smoke. Should they elect when he's going to go back and grab the bomb now as well at T stairs and likely go back to Banana, where the rest of his team, well, two of the four others, you know what I mean, are there.
If they can stop this hit with the 3 players that are there or slow it down, Sorrow coming over with the flashbang could be huge. He's going to start rotating now off that kill, and that'll be a really nice flashbang. If he throws it deep and really, really high, it won't blind his teammates. They'll be able to peek out, and Team Spirit will be completely susceptible, and we'll see how well they can execute it, because they're peeking towards CT spawn for the moment, and that might actually deny the flash, but there are the headshots. 4 of them, in fact. Winter, Sorrow, and Iceman completely turned the round on its head, and Spirit lose an advantage.
Dear God. That was just an absolute slaughter. What a great crossfire. And again, Winter showing off that incredibly good accuracy. SDY. Sad, depressed, and alone. That's SDY. Couldn't come up with Y, Jason, so that's what I went with. He's going to get one back on Sorrow.
That's it. He's got to die.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, good point. The time. Man, there's Rusty. I wasn't even paying attention to that. But yeah, you're right. He would have lost any chance to get any income as well.
Yeah, that would have been awkward. That's an awkward second round if you don't get any of that bonus money. Good shooting. Like, what are you supposed to do if you're Spirit? Everyone died to immediate headshots. No one even from Spirit had a chance in those fights. So that's a bit rough. A bit rough. 10-6. This stretches it to a 9-round run.
Foolish. You could say they're running out of Spirit, Jason. No, don't. Yeah, don't. That one's not even worth it. Just let it pass. This too shall pass. Well, they've got actually in control of Arch already. Magic gets Smiley back. Sorrow does get Mirror. There's a bit of map control to work with, but just like that, good rotations out of B. They're going to hold the T's and basically reverse the pinch. They wanted to try and swing and wrap toward B, but now they're getting locked out themselves. As SDY
sits... head armor, Matt.
Well, yeah. That would have been bad for their money situation, wouldn't it? Down by Duke. And now it is just SDY that remains, and he'll be working his way toward A. And Sorrow catch him. No, Duke's gonna get there first. Good job from Duke. 3 kills on an MP9. I think they say money, money, baby.
Yeah, he could even drop an AWP if he wanted to, if they were feeling frisky. Yeah, and in fact, he is going to do that. So no harm, no foul to Smiley going down without head armor to that jumping Glock. Spirit's going to have the AKs out in this round, obviously, so that op is going to be useful weaponry. 5-round lead for 100PG on the CT side of Inferno, and a win here, and that could be the implication, or that could just be the sign that they're about to just start running away with the map. Spirit need to show us something. It's been a long time for Team Spirit without a win, without anything positive to take away. 4 Molotovs in Banana. A lot of utility traded back and forth there.
SDY is going to
Position himself this time in toward the apartments with Magic. Bomb still waits way back at the kitchen stairs, even behind the T stairs. Lots of stairs on this map, Jason.
Yeah, gotta be exhausting.
Or really good for you. You know, work out those quads, those glutes, firm up that butt a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody likes firm glutes. Iceman, he just really wants to finish out this map, just like everyone on 100PingGods, and they're doing a damn good job of it. I mean, this is, like you say, an incredible 10-0 run right now that they're on.
That's very nice.
And weirdly, we haven't even seen any like timeouts or anything from Spirit, right? I mean, you think that they try and slow this down and at least recoup something from it.
Yeah, maybe. Certainly nothing yet. Smiley with the op exposed in a graveyard. Jump down into the pit now. Molotov's going to come in, so he's under pressure. A bomb site's under pressure, but Sorrow's got that first kill. Comes back, Magix is ready. There's a good frag from the bomb site, protecting his teammate. And oh, this is a tough one. Over the top, Smiley's got another. And in the open, he gets one more. Dexter falls down. It's just SDY on the wrap, but he wasn't able to get into the action quick enough, and none of his teammates had success. 1 versus 3 into a 1 versus 2, but there's no time.
He's got to run. No income, so he's trying to get away with that AK at least. He will. Not looking comfy at all. Yeah, this Inferno. And what were their Spirits bans? They were Vertigo, and then they took out Ancient after Inferno came in, right? I mean, it seems to me like this map pool doesn't have a lot of depth. If you're going to take out the 2 new maps, and you're going to have Vertigo as a permaban, you need to play Inferno, or you need to be... I would say you need to play Inferno, because that's going to come in no matter what if you're not banning it. And you need to learn one of the other 2 very quickly.
Yeah,
I don't,
something.
At this point, if they're gonna ban, if I'm playing against them and they're gonna ban Vertigo every time, I'm picking Inferno. After seeing this, I'm picking Inferno every single time.
Yeah, the intriguing one to me is the nuke pick for the next one, because it's not like that's any kind of like great map for Spirit. We'll see how they do on it. They did get a wealth of experience in 5 overtimes on day 1, but yeah. It's been an interesting veto. Maybe they feel uncomfortable in the standings to the point where they're trying some new maps into their pool. But at the moment, obviously Inferno, and we've talked about this before, Inferno feels like a map that you cannot be lackluster on. Like, everyone plays it. And so, you're right, worrying sign. Can't handle this map. Smiley has got a double, and Iceman's his wingman. He's got 1 more, and he's going to finish off the round.
And not a player lost in the process either. That was a sick lineup. Smiley is just having everything go his way. 21 kills, and we are on round number 20. 19 completed for him to achieve that goal. That's pretty remarkable, and I think pretty much all of those on the AWP. I won't say all. There's been a few pistols and others, but I mean the bulk of them, which is, you know, goes to show not only how much they've had it in their hands in terms of economy, but that he is certainly performing his task brilliantly.
13-6. Well, we got that Spirit timeout, Matt.
Finally,
for it.
Finally.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do something. And I don't mean to make this as a pun, but I'm going to use it because it's available. But even if just to raise the spirits, because right now, if you just keep getting steamrolled, you've got to slow it down and at least catch your breath a bit.
Yeah, 12-0 run. Going into round 20. Pretty brutal stuff. Oh, this is actually a tech pause. I take it back now. This isn't even a
all right.
pause.
Well, then everything we just said out the window, and I wish they would take a tactical pause.
I just assumed it would be a tactical pause. I was like,
I mean,
it
would make sense at this point, right? They've got to do something. Well then. As we mentioned, lots of other games going on. There's 4 best of 3s a day, 1 on each stream, typically.
Let's see. We got Namiga and Akuma on the other stream right now. That'll be the first match there. Namiga currently up 9-7 in their opening map. And then also later on today is going to be K23 versus Virtus Pro.
That could be fun.
That could be very fun. That could be very, very cool matchup. Little battle of Kazakhstan there with Buster and Kickert on Virtus Pro, Adrenmo and Neelan on K23.
Well, let us not delay any further. We get back into things as we get close to the end of this. The way things are going. What about AK-47 down on 3 players of Team Spirit? It's Dexter, Mir, Magic. With an early nade toward the apartments, anticipating perhaps that someone's already pushed up in the hallways, but no one has yet. They are certainly getting closer to A. More defensive utility. The flash is going to hold out. He's going to use it. And don't stay alive, but he's going quicker. Can't do it. And now Team Spirit gets something going because it's Iceman. Oh, Iceman left alive. We're not there to protect. Bomb's going to go down, and nearly the lineup. Dexter gets in and slips under the crosshair just enough to finally give Team Spirit a round.
Yeah, that's pretty cool after the tech timeout as you change the pace from what you've been doing, you know, for most of this game. That's an odd timing to hit. And 100PG wasn't ready. Finally, they stopped the streak. First round, 13 rounds, a 12-1 run for 100PG. Yeah, this happened very, very fast. Actually, pretty crazy. 100PingGods actually got enough players there, had the full rotations pretty fast, and still couldn't contain it. The early entries were just so successful in the favor of Spirit. Defense had already collapsed. They couldn't stop it. Smiley's peering down mid with the AWP, and even with all that success, starting this half off 4-0, 100PingGods out of money after this buy.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I mean, you win the round, but they're so strapped for cash in general. Taking their time a little bit to get position in this round. Down to 1 minute and 11, and we've only seen 1 kill come in so far. And they're going to work a 2-2 split offensively and see if they can open up either side of the map at this point. And Smiley's waiting toward top middle with the AWP. Hot hand Smiley at this point. Hot feet as he has an incendiary, or rather Molotov, excuse me, thrown out. He throws an incendiary back in return. Throwing fire, Jason. Just different names. That's all.
Different name, same thing. All right, here we go. Banana hit. They might disrespect that smoke. They might come right through it. Spamming at the moment. All the utilities out, and yeah, they are. Iceman, he's anti-flash. Duke at the pillar. Gonna try and dodge that as well. Iceman's got the first and the second. That's huge. They can't even make their way through the smoke. SCY's frag means absolutely nothing. And 100PingGods, they get right back to their winning ways after just dropping 1.
I love that position from Iceman. Smoke goes down. Even if they push through it, they're never going to check that tight against it. It actually works better for him. Look, they go through, they're looking deep in the site. They thought, haha, joke's on you. We can just walk in. No, he's got like almost a reverse angle at that point. That's pretty sick. I like it.
I like it.
I like it a lot. Well, that does mean this is now the last buy for Spirit. They've already lost Dexter. Smiley's got him on the AWP.
They have the full loss bonus, so I mean, if they get a plant, they could have another solid buy in the next round. But I mean, that's a big if at the moment. It doesn't seem like they've been super successful with it. That's a good find at the B bomb site. Mir and Chopper not gonna press the issue. They're just gonna back away. 4-on-4 with 1 minute and 20 seconds left.
Magic's already at the top side of the stairs at Boiler. I'm gonna retake some of the stairway position. Oh, where's the gun showing? Okay, I was gonna say, the gun showing. I'm not sure what just happened there. That was ridiculous. Magix was just sitting on the corner, not even anticipating a counter peek coming out from his right-hand side. He was watching the left, and then they just walk into Boiler and slaughter them. Spirit's caught sleeping, I think, a lot in this, Jason.
Yeah, even the pre-fire around the Halls quarter, he's just like, yeah, they're set up for a Halls pop. I'm just gonna start spraying. Nicely done from Winter. There's that opening kill. Yep, 1 kill on Namir, and just he gets an immediate dink turning that corner with the pre-fire. So yeah, a lot of things going right for 100PingGods, and you could be right. Maybe Team Spirit a little bit lackadaisical, a little bit unfocused at the moment.
You think?
Perhaps, yeah, perhaps a bad game. Perhaps just because they've been getting absolutely smashed. Who knows?
Well, at this point, it's a matter of process, I think. We've seen bigger leads in this that I've felt less comfortable about so far in this CIS RMR. This one, I'm pretty confident in saying, just because Spirit has fallen apart. It's been, what, 14-1 since that 6-0 lead? It's pretty ridiculous in a lot of ways. As a nade will go deep.
Spirit going for some kind of timing set piece. They want to take mid. They've got a lot of MAC-10s. Oh, but that's the bomb down, and that's the round. Staro's going to get an easy lineup into pit. A double kill. 16-7 is the score on map 1 Inferno. It is just map 1, so I guess in some sense, shouldn't be super worried, but at the same time, that didn't look good. So maybe you should be worried.
Maybe you should. No, that's a foolish thing that it just fell apart like that. I thought at 6-1 up, we were like, okay, Spirit's here, we're good.
Yeah.
This is what we were expecting. And that was just abysmal. They had nothing going for them. Even when they wanted to change the pace, go through smokes, they get ripped by Iceman. Those guys have some good aim on the 100PingGods side, I will say. But yeah, that's tough. We go to Nuke next as well, and I think what is it, a 33% win rate for Spirit, and it's their pick in this, if I'm not mistaken. That's kind of scary.
We just watched it 2 days ago when they played against Entropic, and that went to 5 overtimes, and that was also not a convincing map of Counter-Strike for Team Spirit, even in a victory. They didn't look good on it. And it's also another map where, much like Inferno, they have a massive deficit in terms of just the number of times they've played it. It's like 9-17 or something like that, or 6-17. So, yeah, you kind of started to question the map pool or the map picks a little bit, and I guess we'll just kind of see what they're going to bring into Nuke. It'll be interesting. That'll be after the break, so stay tuned. We're going to see if Spirit can rebound, and if not, 100PG going to continue their tear of upsets. Stay tuned.
Я уверен, что на данном этапе в РМР, в данной стадии, уже нету слабых соперников вообще. Может, есть команды, которые играют чуть-чуть лучше, чем остальные, но слабых соперников точно нет, и легко не будет ни с кем. Мы будем готовиться ко всем матчам и показывать свой максимум. Поэтому я могу выделить команды в нашей группе, такие как Virtus.pro и, по-моему, Entropic. Они чуть-чуть сильнее, чем остальные, но в целом все выступают на одном уровне. У Virtus.pro определенно есть свой стиль игры. Многие и аналитики, и игроки замечают их особые стаки по там каким-то действиям соперников. Но у них всегда есть логика в действиях. Поэтому это у них и работает. Хорошая команда, которая тоже двигается в своем направлении. Если бы я расставлял команды в обеих группах по местам, то, наверное, в группе А я бы поставил выше всех Нави и Гамбит, что логично. А в нашей группе я бы никого никак не расставлял, потому что я не люблю до игр каким-либо образом рассказывать или что-то просто говорить о том, что еще не произошло. И мне нравится больше доказывать результатом, и я надеюсь, что на этом турнире у нас все получится. Мы ожидали увидеть в нашей группе любого соперника, и вне зависимости от того, кто бы это был, все равно показывать свою игру и выступать на хорошем уровне. Поскольку ты должен выиграть всех соперников, чтобы победить турнир, неважно, с кем тебе встречаться. Так, по командам, которые в нашей группе, могу сказать, что выступают они довольно неплохо, и у них есть свой стержень, тоже и свой стиль игры. Я могу расставить команды закрытых квалификаций по две вместе, приблизительно в одном уровне. Entropic и Force, в моем понимании, приблизительно играют на одном уровне. Может, Entropic чуть сильнее. И потом идет К-23, а потом 100PingGods. К-23 все-таки сильнее, чем 100PingGods. Мне бы лично хотелось, конечно, увидеть и Досю с его стаками, и Эдварда с его на следующих турнирах, и РМР, и в общем в мировом рейтинге на соревновательной сцене, потому что такие, так скажем, опытные игроки со своим именем, которые хорошо понимают игру и в целом имеют большой опыт за спиной. И они всегда приносят молодым игрокам, которые играют с них командам, большой буст. Поэтому это всегда полезно, и как минимум для того, чтобы развивать молодых игроков, и они появлялись на наших сценах. Насчет фаворитов, конечно же, это Гамбит, который сейчас не уступает никому и постоянно показывает стабильно хорошую игру. Но в целом, я думаю, что у нас есть все шансы сломить их. Если бы я расставлял команды в обеих группах по местам, то, наверное, в группе А я бы поставил выше всех Нави и Гамбит, что логично. А в нашей группе я бы никого никак не расставлял, потому что я не люблю до игр каким-либо образом рассказывать или что-то просто говорить о том, что еще не произошло. И мне нравится больше доказывать результатом, и я надеюсь, что на этом турнире у нас все получится. У нас в команде все себя отлично чувствуют в моральном плане, хорошо настроены, много тренируются и работают над тем, чтобы постоянно хорошо выступать. Лично я очень сильно скучаю по лан-турнирам и наконец-то уже не по чуть-чуть будут возвращаться. Вот, например, следующий будет Кёльн, он уже будет в лан-формате без зрителей, но все же это лан-формат. И в целом не хватает этой атмосферы, соперничества, которое прям в упоре у тебя вблизи, а не как когда ты сидишь дома в полном комфорте. И, конечно же, это влияет на игру в целом, я считаю. Не могу отвечать за всех своих тиммейтов, но как команда в целом, думаю, что у каждого такой подход, как и у меня. По остальным командам сложно сказать, но большинство ребят, которые до этого играли на лан-турнирах, я думаю, мыслят так же, как я. Мы полностью перестраивали игру перед этим турниром, и в целом у нас все поменяется, и зрители это в скором увидят. Мы полностью перестроили свою игру. Это все, что я могу пока сказать. Мы ожидали увидеть в нашей группе любого соперника, и вне зависимости от того, кто бы это был, все равно показывать свою игру и выступать на хорошем уровне. Поскольку ты должен выиграть всех соперников, чтобы победить турнир, неважно с кем тебе встречаться. А так, по командам, которые в нашей группе, могу сказать, что выступают они довольно неплохо, и у них есть свой стержень, тоже и свой стиль игры. Я могу расставить команды закрытых квалификаций по две вместе, приблизительно в одном уровне. Энтропик и Форс, в моем понимании, приблизительно играют на одном уровне. Может, Энтропик чуть сильнее. И потом идет К-23, а потом 100PingGods. К-23 все-таки сильнее, чем 100PingGods. Мне бы лично хотелось, конечно, увидеть и Досю с его стаками, и Эдварда с его на следующих турнирах, и РМР, и в общем в мировом рейтинге на соревновательной сцене, потому что такие, так скажем, опытные игроки со своим именем, которые хорошо понимают игру и в целом имеют большой опыт за спиной, и они всегда приносят молодым игрокам, которые играют с них командам, большой буст. Поэтому это всегда полезно, и как минимум для того, чтобы развивать молодых игроков, и они появлялись на наших сценах. Определенно есть команды, которые требуют большего внимания. Это логично, потому что они являются топами мира, как Na'Vi, Gambit, там, Virtus.pro, например. Но в целом мы никогда не готовимся к какой-то команде хуже или лучше. У нас всегда один этап подготовки, один образ, и мы всегда занимаемся одним и тем же. С некоторыми нюансами по каждому сопернику, но в целом мы всегда готовимся одинаково, вне зависимости от того, это чуть-чуть слабее соперник или сильнее, для нас этого никакого значения не имеет. Поэтому мы также будет в этом случае.